We're here for it.
Joy! Save up to $50 each month on internet service with federal stimulus money for all eligible households.
Help establish digital service in your neighborhood.
Sign up at oakhillcollaborative.org or call 330-406-0271. Northeast Ohio's #1 choice for news. Cleveland's own Fox 8 News starts now.
Cases of COVID-19 are rising and rising very fast, and that's prompting Cuyahoga County to take action.
County health officials today issued a mask advisory for all county residents. Our Kevin Freeman joining us live to explain what this means. Kevin?
Okay, well, this is not a mandate, but Cuyahoga County health officials say that the cases are rising so dangerously fast that they feel that they have to do something right now. Now, the county health commissioner tells us today, he says that by early next week, we could exceed 1,000 cases per day. And that's worse than last winter, and that is just as we approach the flu season.
Effective immediately, we're implementing a mask advisory for all Cuyahoga County residents, regardless of their vaccination status.
It's not a mandate, but a strong recommendation. Wednesday, Cuyahoga County Executive ARMOND BUDISH urged all residents to wear a mask while indoors, or more importantly, get vaccinated.
If we want to keep our schools and workplaces open and more of our residents from getting COVID, we need more people to get vaccinated.
With my team, we had a few holdouts on the vaccine, and we just had conversation with them and asked, kind of listen to their concerns and try to understand where they were coming from. And so far, without exception, they've all gone and gotten the vaccine.
Sam McNulty, co-owner of Nano Brew and several restaurants and breweries on West 25th Street in Cleveland, says he believes encouraging vaccination, not more mask mandates, are key to fighting the pandemic and keeping businesses like his open.
I think before the vaccine, some of these mandates, or in this case recommendations, advisories made sense. Now that we have a vaccine, it seems to me we should be focusing on advising people to get the jab.
I just feel like if somebody they ask you to wear a mask while you're inside, it's not a really big of a deal. Just wear one. It's not that hard. It's obviously still happening. Stuff is still getting worse. So if you are going to take that risk to go outside, just wear a mask.
Several patrons we spoke to say they will wear a mask when asked, but they also believe the focus for health officials should be encouraging more people to get the vaccine.
That I'm vaccinated, and I think that if you're vaccinated and you're safe, I wash my hands, I do my thing. It's at your risk.
I'm vaccinated, and I still, if I go into public places like a grocery store and something like that, I wear a mask. Even though I'm vaccinated.
I think it's people's own discretion, but the problem is, people that aren't vaccinated and they get it, you know what I mean? They're going to have it a lot worse than people that are vaccinated, and they could potentially infect someone else. But I really feel like people are just they don't want to wear a mask, period.
And no one really wants to wear a mask, but the county executive says right now that is what he is encouraging people to do. As you heard the county health commissioner basically saying next week, perhaps 1,000 cases a day. Right now, Cuyahoga County is averaging about 300 COVID-19 cases per day. That's 800% more than last July when we averaged about 35 daily cases. Now, about 54% of Cuyahoga County residents, they are fully vaccinated, but only about a third are African American and 44% are Hispanic. So still much work, it appears, to be done in many of Cleveland's minority communities.
Yeah, once again, just an advisory, not a mandate at this point. Kevin, thank you so much.
And in the meantime, there is this tonight. Dozens of employees, a local children's hospital, and supporters hold a rally to protest the hospital's new COVID vaccine mandate there. Fox 8's Ann Stratford live in the newsroom tonight. And Suze, you have a lot more on what they had to say.
Yeah, good evening, Lou. We do. Now, Akron Children's Hospital says the new policy is part of a comprehensive plan to address high volumes and limited staffing. But protesters say if they force the shot, they're going to lose even more workers.
We're fighting for informed consent
because I feel that everybody has a choice whether they should get the vaccine or not.
We will not have weekly testing! Carrying signs and waving flags, more than 50 people stood in protest across the street from Akron Children's Hospital Wednesday night. Some vaccinated, some not, but all strongly against the hospital's new mandatory vaccine policy that requires the shot or regular COVID testing.
Let me be clear that we are not anti-vaccine. We just support everybody's choice and whether they want to get the vaccine or not.
And I think it's wrong that they want to force us to take a medical procedure that we do not want to take. Our patients and families get to make a choice. We want a choice too.
They say everyone's decision is personal, from religious reasons to concerns over possible serious adverse reactions.
It hasn't been thoroughly tested.
The vaccine doesn't prevent you from spreading it. So, and some of our people have, there's people out there who have had COVID and they do have natural antibodies.
I worked through a pandemic without masks, without gowns, without goggles. We all got through it, and now suddenly it's for patient safety.
A statement released by the hospital says in part, "We recognize the right of our employees and others to peacefully express their views, and we are listening to their concerns. That it was a difficult decision based on science and our concern for the health and safety of our young patients and our employees, that the pediatric intensive care unit is over capacity, and that they must do everything to protect them. Understanding that the vaccine is not a 100% safeguard, but calling it a powerful tool."
I don't care what they say. I do think everybody should have their own choice. That's it.
I've been here for 34 years. It's my life to take care of people, but I got to take care of myself first. I don't want the jab. If you want the jab, take it. I don't want it.
So definitely some strong opinions. Now, protesters also expressed concerns that the mandate will force more medical workers to quit, as we said, or be fired when they're already feeling pretty burned out after the past year and a half and short-staffed. But for now, the hospital says the policy will remain in place.
And Sue's picking up on that last point. The hospital says it's not going to back off, so there's so much on the line here. These people, many of them, could end up losing their jobs.
Exactly, and it's definitely happened at other hospitals, and the workers we spoke with this evening are prepared for it to happen here. They say it's not what they want, but they also don't want to take the shot.
All right, Suze, thanks. The Ohio Department of Health is reporting more than 7,700 new cases of COVID-19 over the last 24 hours. That pushes the three-week average to more than 6,000 cases a day. Nearly 300 people were admitted to hospitals, 18 of those needing critical care. Nearly 80% of all ICU beds across the state now are full.
Cleveland voters have made their choices, and now the race for mayor comes down to Justin Bibb and Kevin Kelley. Both appeared side by side today on Fox 8 News this morning. Looking ahead to November, Dave Nethers has more.
We shocked the political world.
Political newcomer Justin Bibb on Tuesday emerges as the top vote getter in a crowded Cleveland mayoral primary.
The results last night speak for themselves. We led all night. We won the primary with nearly 20% of the vote.
Appearing on Fox 8 News Wednesday morning, he interprets the results as an appetite for change.
Last night's results show that Clevelanders are desperate for change in this election, and our campaign is focused on that change.
Everybody will talk about change. Actually doing change is hard.
People believed in the message that we crafted together.
Finishing second and advancing along with Bibb to the November general election is Cleveland Council President Kevin Kelley, who appeared alongside Bibb this morning.
Taking change from where the problem is to where the solution is doesn't just happen. And you've got to understand how government works. You have to understand how the community works.
Both providing a glimpse into their priorities heading into the next phase of their campaign.
First priority is bringing together our safety forces, all the partners that are in this, and dealing with our epidemic of violent crime that's going on right now.
Well, the first thing I want to do is something I've done with successful mayors all across the country. We got to do a top-down audit of every single department to determine what's working and what's not working to get our priorities straight.
Thanks to so many people.
Finishing behind both were former Cleveland Mayor and Congressman Dennis Kucinich and former Councilman Zach Reed.
We fought a good, valiant fight.
Who each of them endorses may help influence the general election.
I didn't get it through to either one of them, but I left a voicemail message for Kevin Kelley, and I left a text message for Justin Bibb.
I love Cleveland, and I wish the candidates the best, and I think Justin Bibb ran a great campaign.
I would say this, we cannot afford more of the same, and it's that experience that has gotten our city to this point, and My experience is a bit different.
I'm just going to ask the voters of the city of Cleveland to look beyond the talk. Look to what is the record of each candidate.
In Cleveland, Dave Nethers, Fox 8 News.
City of Cleveland is unveiling a grand plan to transform the riverfront area of downtown Cleveland. The new vision for the River Valley is the focus of a public-private partnership between the city and Bedrock, a commercial real estate firm owned by Cavs owner Dan Gilbert. The 20 to 30-year plan includes the redevelopment of Tower City and underutilized areas along the river, including Collision Bend. But many Clevelanders are asking, why is the city pursuing such a grand plan here when so much of the economy is in a state of flux and many neighborhoods and the school system continue to struggle?
The market will drive things, and as this becomes successful and Cleveland becomes more in demand for not only office space but for entertainment, residential, recreational activity, you'll see things begin to change. We're not looking at this as what things are now. We're looking at this in terms of where we want to position Cleveland for the future.
This is a long way from final. There will be a series of public hearings to get feedback from the community about that long-term plan.
Still to come, a survivor's story.
A woman becomes the target of a violent attack just outside the Hopkins Airport Terminal. What the I-Team tonight is learning about the suspect.
Homecoming in the age of COVID, how local schools are making adjustments to the big dance this fall.
A trip to the grocery store becomes a traumatic experience. What a mom found when she reached for some pizza rolls.
Plus, timeless toys sparking fond memories. A closer look at what's up for induction into the Hall of Fame.